Alright, well, this is Control, running on my own hardware this time on PC, compared to running it on GFN. So this is mostly for Twitter, but hi to everyone else that may happen upon this on YouTube, or anywhere else that I may post this before the end of the world, and that kind of thing, and when we all die and all the servers die out and there's nowhere else to view this, I guess. Whoever's the last person to watch this video out of the dozens, or dozen who may watch this, hey, whatever, it's just for me to pass some time and do something, and also try out recording with Shadowplay on the new PC. So, we're running DLSS at this point. I tried the opening without DLSS, and a full internal render resolution of 4K will chug to about 20 FPS, 20 to 25 FPS for the beginning. It will run about 45 FPS with all this turned on. So we will mess around with things at some point and all that. This is the way hardware is right now. I would have loved to have waited for Ampere instead of or Ampere, whichever way it's pronounced, before jumping on the 2080 Ti. But I wanted the anxiety gone off my old build. I had my i7 8700K and the RAM and that motherboard laying around for a while. After not getting back to it whenever I couldn't get that build running on the old GTX 980s, and the anxiety that put into me. So got someone to look at it, and that's why I've got my new graphics card in there right now. I just wanted it out of my head, and it may be a stupid move money wise over Ampere, but I'm not gonna regret it too much, just because I really just want to get this running, and it kind of settles 2 years off bullshit from my mind. So, with my own life story out of the way, let's get going with some Control and ray tracing stuff for the future.
Fair warning.
I'm just going to skip this just to not have this video be too long. So yeah, we're running at like 47, 46 FPS right now with this. It's not too bad, but this is like full ray tracing, full DLSS from 1440p to 4K. So there will be, I will need to make some trade-offs anyway. But that being said, it's still all right. Knock this down to like a 30p if you want. If I'm going to play with a controller, which I might, I love my 60 FPS, and I will complain about games not having 60 FPS. But doing, this kind of thing, I maybe
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
Like, this is the room that I used for showing off the ray tracing stuff from GFN. Whenever that was my first experience with any ray tracing whatsoever, and I was impressed then. And this looks really great with in full fat DLSS 4K on my TV. So yeah, like this, you might get something cool like Last of Us 2 has some really cool reflections using. Digital Foundry knows more than me. I get a lot of my stuff from Digital Foundry and a few other articles and that I read. I'm not a full tech hound, but like Last of Us 2 had some really cool reflection stuff that, the mirror is kind of limited to how much was reflected, so it couldn't reflect the whole thing. But like, this is amazing to me. Like, look at this stuff. Like, look at the lights from that room from in there being reflected back down on the ground, even though they're off screen. Like that is really neat. Also, like the different type of materials on the floor and all that, and or the different waxing to the floor or whatever, causing a different type of reflection and all that. It looks really neat. So if I go and turn off some ray tracing right now, go and turn that off. That's all disappeared. So this is the entire room without any ray tracing whatsoever. Yeah. Fucking neato, innit? Like, obviously they could have done more baked stuff that would require more artist time to get like some reflections of the character on that window and that kind of thing. But, having ray tracing and having that time be able to go into other stuff is cool. I wonder if that's a DLSS issue for that there. Let me turn off DLSS for that particular thing. So Yeah, I guess so, actually. Yeah, that was some DLSS, so let me go and turn that on again. Huh, okay, I guess that's some DLSS rendering stuff going on there. Intriguing. Of course, you've got like the shadows disappearing as well, and that bench behind the character's head. I forget the character's name, so excuse me. I have not properly played Control yet, but yeah, the ambient occlusion shadows and all that kind of thing disappearing from behind the character's head there, with ray tracing turned off, and then if we turn that back on again, that issue fully disappears. So really fucking neato as far as I'm concerned. Like really, really fucking neato. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes, and I'm excited to mess around with it and get some good 4K gaming out of this. Hopefully the video from Shadow Play works out well too. We'll see.